video on a load of things I've got to use up that I need to do something with, and this is just a way of kind of using them up, because I've made loads of videos and I've just been left with a load of kind of stuff. So I've made butter, I've made some fruit leather, I have been mucking around with fruits, and I just kind of thought, why don't we make like another Christmas cake, because we can use the butter to make the cake, and then we can use the fruit and some things, bits and pieces that I've got in the cupboards that kind of need using up, to make a dark, rich fruit cake, like you would have a wedding cake or a Christmas cake that you have in the UK. So I made the butter, so we're going to do, and also the last time I made Christmas cakes, I realised that these containers need 3 eggs per container, and I only did 2, so we're going to bulk up the recipe this time. I'm going to make it so like 6 eggs rather than 4. So we've got 12 ounces of butter. We're going to put some soft dark brown sugar in with that to whip them together, and I've also got some sugar which I've got some citrus zest in as well, so we'll put a tablespoon of that in as well, so we'll get some nice citrusiness from that. These are the blueberries that I froze, and then I squeezed the juice out because I want to do something with the juice. So I'm left with these, and ordinarily I just make them into a normal cake, but today I kind of thought, oh well, I did the gin infused berries into a Christmas cake before, and the blueberries were very nice in that, so they should work in a Christmas cake. And they're a little bit figgy type of thing. They've had the juice squeezed out of them, so they've lost a little bit of flavour, but they'll be fine. I've got some sultanas that were in the cupboard, which I've soaked in some tea overnight, so we're going to use those. And then we've got the fruit leather as well, which was kind of okay, but it's nice and sharp, so I kind of think that's a bit like a dried fruit. So normally I put a bit of ginger in, or some cherries into a Christmas cake, but I think that dried fruit leather will work really well. So I'll cut that in strips. I've just put some flour over it, just to kind of, so it doesn't stick all together, because if I was just cut it up, it was kind of quite sticky, so that would all want to stick together. There is a video somewhere on the fruit leather that I've kind of was a bit of a failure, but you know, we're going to use that up as well. So cut that up into little bits, we'll form the cake, we'll mix it all together. So, but first of all, I need to cream some butter and some sugar, and then we'll kind of put it all together. Is there anything else I'm going to put in it? No, I think it was just those 2 things. So I need to make that, chop this up, and then we'll kind of combine. So I'll be back when I've got the cake mixture ready, and then we're just going to combine everything together and put it in some love tins. Right. So cake mixture is made, and it was 8 ounces, no it wasn't, it was 12 ounces of butter, the homemade stuff, it was 12 ounces of sugar, it was 6 eggs, and it was 12 ounces of self-raising flour. 3/4 of a teaspoon of mace ground, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. So there's 3 pounds of fruit. So I've chopped up the what we call it, the fruit leather, and I've just dusted it in a little bit of flour, self-raising flour, so that can go in. And then I just thought I really should dust the blueberries in a little bit of flour as well, so because everything's just a little bit wetter this time, like the fruit leather and the raisins, sultanas, sorry, that are soaked in fruit. So we might just need a little bit of flour just to stop everything from falling to the bottom of the cake, which isn't a bad thing. We're only at home. There's anything else I need to be adding? No, that's fine. So we'll just dust them in a little bit of flour, and that will stop them from falling to the bottom of the cake, which I don't personally mind about, but a little bit more. Don't add too much flour because it affects the cake, because you are essentially adding more flour than you normally would do with a what we call it, like a cake mixture. I don't know actually if you're supposed to take the flour that you would put into the cake and use that to dust the fruit with. I don't know. Maybe you should, or maybe you're supposed to use a little bit of extra flour. I don't know. And then we're going to cook this about 150 in a fan oven for, last time it was about 3 hours, but we'll see how that goes. These cakes are going to be a little bit deeper, so they might just take a little bit longer. And I might need to put something over the top of them just to stop them from colouring too much on the top of the cake. So that in there, hopefully I'll be able to mix that well enough. I have to do it off camera. That's very full, is that? Might need to put that in another bowl, but we'll see. I'll have a spoon in that. I can't remember what I did. I'm not going to put it back in the mixer. I need something a little bit stiffer than a plastic spatula. You can never buy exactly what you want, you know, like spatulas are great, but it's bendy. I'd like something with a rigid handle. And then spoons aren't as well made as they used to be. Nothing's as well made as it used to be. Everything falls to bits. Far too easily. I need to get right down to the bottom. That's alright, it's making a mess of my hands. You see, it smells Christmassy already. I think this is going to really work. Let's get that right down to the bottom. And then I'm going to use the baking paper that I was using for the fruit leather, because we don't like waste. Oh, we'll do one glass. Cake's not going to rise that much, so we'll be okay. I put a bit of, the butter wasn't completely unsalted. Now I know you're supposed to use unsalted butter in baking. However, I think salted butter works better in baking, if I'm honest, because I think it just slightly improves the flavour. So, because the butter was unsalted, I've just put a good pinch of salt in as well into the flour when I was mixing that around. And then there was the zesty sugar as well. So there is about a couple of lemon juices worth of zest in here. Well, these will be nice and full, aren't they? Hopefully it won't rise too much. Yeah, and there's like 3 pounds worth of mixed fruit, so that's the blueberries and the fruit leather and those sultanas that I had in the fridge. So if we go on the fact that for every 2 eggs we need a pound of fruit, it's quite a lot. Not there. Yeah, I did decide last time that the cakes weren't full enough, the cake tins weren't full enough, but we'll see. We will see. Press that down a little bit. And then we'll keep it out. Well, I'm not going to keep it out for 3 hours, I'm going to go out. I'm going swimming, surprise, surprise. Although I don't know what time it is. I got a bit carried away with myself. I still think it'll be time to go swimming. So, scrape off there, make a mess of myself. Do I leave the washing up until I come back? Have I got time before I go swimming to do the washing up? Don't know. Right. There we go. Right. 150 degrees for 3 hours. We might cover them after an hour, but we'll see. We'll see. I better taste the. Look at me, cake mixture everywhere. I'm just going to lick fingers and taste cake mixture. That's really nice. I think he's going to make good cakes. Right, let's have a look. Let's have 2.5 hours. No, 3.5 hours, sorry. So, it's starting to smell like they're ready. We just covered them for the last couple of hours. Feel hot all the way through. So let's just get it. 80 degrees. They're cooked. 80. 85. No, it's a little bit. It's not entirely clean. Give that a bit more. We'll give them another half an hour and a half. We'll cover them up a little bit better. Put some foil on them. Give me another half an hour. I think that'll be about right. Had about 4.5 hours now. So these are definitely cooked because they wanted to come away from the sides of the cake tin. But we'll just stick a skewer in just to make sure. Somewhere where I haven't stuck it in before. Just there, we're fine. If it comes out clean, definitely cooked. Even though I was thinking, I mean, the fruit leather that I made, for all intents and purposes, was a reduced liquid, so I hope it's kind of kept its structural integrity as we've cooked it in the cake. So that's coming out clean and hot. They're cooked. Leave those to cool, and then we'll have a look at them tomorrow, because it's a bit late now. There's no way they're going to cool before it's bedtime. So we'll have a look tomorrow. Slice a bit off the end. Because they won't just fit into the cake tins that I've got without slicing a bit off the end. Oh, well, that's okay. That's the what we call it there. That's a bit of the fruit leather, the failed fruit leather, just there, and that's managed to stay together. So we should be okay. We'll see how we go tomorrow. Let's have a look. The sunk slightly, but I'm not bothered about that. Ooh, let's have a look. So, cut there. It's really moist, is that? Maybe a little bit too moist. Yeah, it's really nice though. Considering it was made from things that I didn't really know what to do with, that's turned out really nice. I'm not entirely sure soaking this sultanas in tea is worth doing. But nice. I think it'll benefit from being wrapped up and stored for a couple of months. I think those gaps must be where the what we call it, where the apple leather has disintegrated. The apple juice leather. I can't really see any parts of the apple juice leather in it. There's one or two bits on top. And I think that hole must be where it's disintegrated. Yeah, that's where it's disintegrated. So you can't use the apple leather in a cake. But It's alright. We've used up a few things, and we've got some delicious cake that'll be ready in a couple of months.